Greetings here, it is I, Hilariously Scary, and today we have a little bit of a different video because I am drawing fan art today. I don't know if this is as shocking to y'all as it is to me. I don't normally draw fan art because normally if I'm gonna go through the effort to draw art, it's gonna be for my characters, but I just finished Infinity Train Season 2. Tears were rolling down my eyes and I was like, I have to draw MT, which I'm going to be calling throughout this video because this is going to be a spoiler-free video. If you haven't seen Infinity Train Book 1 or Book 2, you're totally chill, not going to spoil anything, although I guess I'm going to be spoiling that her name is MT. I mean, it says it on all the... Okay, minor, name spoilers. I'm gonna try to be safe. So, yeah. Book 2's good. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. It's been a couple days since I watched Book 2, though, because every time I sat down to record this video, I just kept on, thinking, in my head, what I was gonna say, and it just turned into me complaining about Book 1 and how modern cartoons aren't good anymore, which, first of all, is just false, but, my mind goes down, this really sad path whenever I think about cartoons these days. Let me give you a bit of context. So my name's Sarah Truly, for those of you that don't know, and I'm currently going to university to get a degree in creative writing so I can go and make TV shows, specifically animation, specifically for teenagers, if they'll let me. Probably just gonna end up writing for kids though. Who knows? The industry's crazy and I'm scared. As a kid, I watched so much cartoons and anime. Y'all, I spent all day watching anime every day because I was homeschooled. So it was just bad. It was bad. I watched so much anime, y'all. Back then, I was working on my own characters and animation just seemed like this crazy new medium where you could do anything and the storytelling was so over the top. The shows that were coming out were Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, and anime. We had Death Note and Code Geass, which I love. We had freaking No Game No Life. We had SAO. We don't speak about SAO, but at the time, just back in the days, I hear it is being called the Silver Age of animation. I'm such a boomer, y'all. Back in my day when TV shows were good, this mother freaking boomer over here. So when I was a kid, animation was popping. Don't worry, people who are kids right now, I'm going to explain myself. But yeah, I just remember cartoons were this just magical medium, freaking iconic. So I was I gotta get in on this. So I made my own characters, I made my own stories, and I was just creating so much. I drew so much because I thought that you had to draw if you wanted to be in cartoons, which I'm only 98% sure is not true still, because they're no, there's writers and then storyboard people. But then Steven Universe is do you need a writer? Sorry, I got off on a whole tangent there. I'm getting back around to Infinity Train. Don't worry, guys. I started going to school for these things, and I feel once you know how TV shows work, and you get pounded this formula into your head about how episodes are written, and everything just becomes so formulaic. And for a while, I got really depressed because I was it's almost TV show writing isn't an art; it's a science. You just kind of plug in these plot points, and then out comes the story. And because I wanted to make cartoons, I still forced myself to watch cartoons. These new shows kept coming out and I kept forcing myself to watch them, but of course I'm nowhere in the age demographic. So I'm watching these TV shows and they're not bad. They're not bad. The TV shows are good, but they just didn't hit me like they used to. They're not magical anymore, but I was studying it. So it wasn't so much oh my gosh, all these things are happening. It was more oh, I see. So you set up this conflict in the beginning and then you distracted us with this other conflict, and then you use the conflict from the beginning to solve the conflict in the end. Oh, that's clever. That's a good structure, and you're gonna do it every episode. And yeah, I should probably take notes about that because I might have to write something similar one day. Good job, writing team. And there'd just be these moments when I'm watching animation these days where it's just very obvious that it's written for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. It kind of lost its magic for me, and the shows that used to be so freaking mind-blowing, I rewatched, and they were just kind of over dramatic, a little bit cringy if I'm being honest, and all these things that blew my mind as a kid, it wasn't doing it for me. And then suddenly I looked at my own stories and I'm is this over dramatic? Is it cliche? And then I started getting really insecure about my own stories, and like everybody around me was like films, and I'm going to write live action TV shows, and I was like, maybe I should just write a cop show because that's where the money's at. But I didn't want to write a cop show. I wanted to write anime, and like even though the anime industry is pumping out the same gosh darn isekai every freaking I'm not angry. I was going into that whenever I first watched Infinity Train Book 1, and it was good. Like, I watched the pilot, I was really excited for the series, because it's such a magical medium animation that you can just write a show about some girl that, like, gets trapped on an infinite train with a corgi and a robot. Like, you can't do those sort of things in live-action TV unless you have, like, a huge special effects budget, but you can do it in animation, and, like, nobody bats an eye. And so I was really excited for the show to come out, and then it did, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I wasn't drawn into the story anymore, and it was like really sad to me. So all of this to say, going into book 2, I wasn't very excited. Y'all, I cried so much, and I didn't even just cry at the ending of book 2. I cried in the middle of book 2 because it was so good. The narrative was so strong, the animation was so perfect, and the characters were so gosh darn pure. And the writing was so freaking tight that I forgot to pay attention to the writing. Like, I'm literally watching these cartoons just to look at the writing and be like, how can I do this? And, like, I forgot. I got so freaking sucked into the story. I don't want to spoil it, but it's good, y'all. Y'all, it's so good. It's so, like, first of all, look at MT. She's gorgeous. We stan. And, like, I don't mean to be all like, oh, it's good because it's edgy, but y'all, it gets so freaking edgy. I love edgy stuff. I don't even know how to describe to y'all how good it is without spoiling it. I don't know how people make these no spoiler reviews. No spoiler review, it was good. Okay, but for the people that have seen it, just think about MT and then think about her final name. MT, as in like she's empty, like EMT. Wait, how do you spell empty? I'm an idiot. I've literally done a creative writing degree. MT, and then her final name. Just think about it. It's poetic. It's so freaking good. And Jessie, don't even get me started on Alan Dracula. We freaking stand that freaking deer. And like, it's so good. I can't. That's my review, guys. Book 2 is good. Like, I don't want to say that it's Avatar levels of good, but it's Avatar levels of good. I'm just really excited because, like, going into this, I was like, okay, book 1 was good. So you're going to go back and talk about the metal girl? I mean, okay. Like, I wasn't really here for it. I was just kind of watching it because, like, I had to. But from the first episode, I was hooked. I, like, watched all the episodes in one sitting, just all at once, because it had already been out by then. Oh my gosh, the tears, the happiness. I keep on almost spoiling it. Okay, maybe I should just... No, I'm not going to spoil it, because I want everybody that watches this video to be like, oh dang, I'm gonna go watch that right now, and you should because it's amazing. The thing about book 1 that turned me off is I don't really like animal companions. I like more humanoid characters interacting. It was basically just Tulip and 2 animal companions, and I know Animal Companion is not doing Atticus or Wellmont justice because they are so much more than animals, but just the fact that they were animals and not humanoid threw me off because that's just not my thing. So the fact that we had MT and Jessie and then Alan Dracula as like a proper animal sidekick but not a sidekick because he's your friend. The writing is so tight. The arcs are so good. And like, here's the thing. It's so subtle. Like, I feel like so many modern cartoons these days, and it's totally fine. I don't want anybody to come away from this thinking that I'm making fun of you if you like these things. Like, they're completely fine. I really don't want anybody to feel like I'm trying to like talk down to people that like this. It's just that my brain can't turn off. I overthink and overanalyze everything, and it sucks. In the first one, it was very much like Tulip is dealing with this problem, and here's how we're going to solve this problem. But with Jessie, it's like, what is your problem? Oh, it's that. Well, Tulip had this moment in the first series that was like, I'm dealing with this problem, and this is how it's making me feel, and I'm going to stop dealing with it now, which I understand that, like, a lot of children need that very much laid out for them, but Jessie and MT didn't really have that. MT had it a little bit, but it was like, I can't even describe you. I'm not trying to say here, like, I'm a literary critic. Like, I can't even explain why MT's was better than Tulip. I just don't like Tulip, I guess. No offense to people that like Tulip. MT is a queen. So those are my thoughts on Infinity Train. and cartoons in general, I guess. Sorry if I got a little bit depressing in there. I'm just really excited about cartoons for the first time in a long time, and that makes me happy as somebody who wants to make cartoons. But there's a lot of good cartoons. If you want suggestions, obviously, Steven Universe Future, amazing. Craig of the Creek is really good. Ooh, Loud House, that's a good one. I really need to catch up on that. Is it still airing? BoJack Horseman, classic. Rick and Morty. Oh, Tangled the series, obviously. Amazing. Like I said, like, I'm not trying to be like modern cartoons are bad. Modern cartoons are great. I just need to turn off my brain. And Infinity Book 2 did that for me for the first time in a long time. And I'm just really appreciated. Owen Dennis, 10 out of 10. Also, there's so many potentials for news stories. When Infinity Train Book 1 ended, I was like, how are you even going to continue this? But from this one, like, there's so many elements. Like, I think they were setting up something at the end with that one person, but I don't know. But I'm just excited, you know? I'm excited. I want to see what Owen Dennis has next. And also everybody else. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching my video. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!